Welcome to this video review, and you can see today I have two scopes in front of me. Both of them are the same model, just the color is different. And this is the IOR 2-16x42 breaker. So the IOR always has some fancy names for their scopes, but this one is quite special, honestly speaking. I'm sure if you're looking at this video you already know the IOR. The IOR is a company in Bucharest in Romania. It's been founded in 1936. It's one of the oldest manufacturers of sport optics in Europe. And they have a really unique take on all the products they produce because they're really different than everybody else. They have a very unique style, and their styling is so bulky, non-refined and so on, and a lot of people really like this, honestly speaking. So the decision to do all of this, I would say, twerks and features on their scopes a little bit more bulkier, a little bit less refined. It's maybe the reason for it is that everybody else is producing the scopes which are very similar one to another. IOR stands out in this respect. So this particular model came out in, I think, 2019. It was shown even before that, and as far as I know, it was somehow that they got some kind of investment, the investment funds, I think, even from the EU, and then they decided to produce the Lutas 3-25x50 scope, then this one, the breaker 2-16x42, 5-25x56. I think those three models came in the same period, and they featured quite a few novelties, quite a few new things on them, which later all IOR scopes got. So the new turrets with the locking function and a different kind of zero stop, completely new illumination unit with a plus and minus button, a new and different type of parallax on the side focus here, not a adjustable objective like they had before. So a little bit different. We also know that IOR is famous for their extreme zoom ratios, because when they came out with this 6x zoom and 10x zoom and so on, they were the first on the market, honestly speaking. They were before Swarovski Z6 hunting scopes, when they already had a 3-18x42 scope, which was predecessor of this 2-16x42, if we are quite honest, because they are not producing 3-18x42 anymore. Even though, in my opinion, 3-18x42 was the most legendary IOR of all time, because that scope made their name. It also made their entrance into American market, which changed a lot. So today I'm going to speak about all the features, and at the end, I know that a lot of people just rewinds our reviews to the end, where I go through the sweet and sour of each product, and where I share and express my opinion about these products and what's really good and what could have been done better. Okay, so 2-16x42 model, 8x zoom models, they're quite compact still, less than 33 centimeters of length. So when other brands are speaking about their compact, short, ultra short and so on scopes, this one are really compact. Only the turrets are really big, because the same size of the turrets is used also on much bigger scopes they produce. 35mm central tube, which is, I would say, quite odd, but still the IOR was the first one which produced 35, I think, or maybe it was Leupold, and they are still sticking to this standard, and now there is abundance of mounts in this tube diameter, so it's no problem. It has a side focus, like I showed. It goes from 7 meters all the way to infinity, so it goes really long. And the weight is around 1 kilogram. A lot of weight for such a compact scope, but this is expected from IOR. CR2032 battery for the illumination. Only the central dot is illuminated, which is really, really positive. And you see really nice, you feel the clicks on these buttons. So a new system for the illumination. Honestly speaking, from usability point of view, the rotating buttons are better than these rubber clicking buttons, especially when you consider these scopes, they come with 30 years warranty. I'm sure that this rubber will probably not hold 30 years, even if it's the best in the world. So I would say that a rotating button would be better. Still, it's the whole system, it's really easy to use. You see this white dot here, it has to be pointed backwards, aligned with this line here, and then the normal battery is inside. And the illumination is only low light usable, so you will not be able to see it during the day, which is fine, even though on 2 times magnification, maybe in some dynamic situations a stronger dot would be better. But these scopes, they don't have an integrated fiber optics in the reticle, so the illumination is still, I would say, 1 generation older in terms of technology, so it's a reflecting surface on the reticle and a LED diode. The price of this scope is 1,800 euros, which I think it's a really good price for this optical quality and mechanical quality you're getting. So the reticle is in the first focal plane. So this is a true mil-mil FFP scope. And for now, I think it's only one style of the reticle, but IOR is changing this from year to year. So I'm sure that in the future, there will be other reticle options also. And I would say that my only resentment to the reticle is that it has a really thick dot in the center, and that's probably the reason that on 2 times magnification, when you put the illumination on, it's a little bit easier to see it. But when you put it on 16 times magnification and when you're making a really long range shots, the dot is a little bit bigger than would be preferable. You're able to buy this rifle scope in 2 different colors, and it's really nice that you can see it's not in this dark brown. Some parts are black, so you get a really good combination, and I really like the optical appeal of this scope. Honestly speaking, I think it's beautiful, and it works really nicely on a desert rifles. Turrets, this is their last generation of turrets. So the elevation turret has a locking mechanism. You have to pull it up to work it. The clicks are still very nice, very audible, they have a good feel. You have a mechanical zero stop, 10 mils of elevation in 1 turn, and the total elevation is 37 mils. Out of this world almost, but we know that the IORs always come with a really big elevation. The windage range is the windage is around 15 mils or MRADs, still a lot. It's a multi-turn turret. And the turn indicator are the lines here beneath the turret. So the turn indicator is still not mechanical. You do get a second zero. This, you see, you can just set it for, let's say, I usually have it on 100 meters and 300 meters, so that you immediately know, okay, now I'm on 300 meters. So secondary zero, it's a nice addition, and I think that only IOR has it, no one else. And then you lock it back. The windage turret is classical, it cannot be locked, and it has a different feel to it, different clicks, still not bad, even though the elevation has a better feel it's better, you hear the clicks also better. Both of these 2 turrets normally are resettable, and here is a zero stop on the elevation turret. The scopes come only in 1 centimeter clicks or 0.1 mils or milliradians, like you can read it here, which is normal, and I also think that if they would make it in MOA, it would be a mistake. Why should you? No one would buy it. Okay, optically speaking, so magnification range goes all the way from 2 times magnification to 16 times, 42 millimeter objective lens, so it's really a compact scope. A zoom factor of 8 times, really a lot, but IOR is famous for this huge zoom factors. And the field of view is 17.5 meters per 100 meters. So the field of view is not really that big for 2 times magnification. It's not really bad, but it's not so big. And when you look at this IORs, at least in my opinion, the apparent field of view, so how big the image is when you look through it, it's not as good as it was years ago. On their previous scopes, I somehow have a feeling that they had a better apparent field of view. Still, the brightness and the contrast and the sharpness of the image is well above its price range. If this is 1,800 euros, you get, if you look at, I would say, Japanese 1,800 euros scopes, this has better optics, at least in my opinion. The eye relief is around 80 millimeters, 80 to 90, it depends on the magnification. And eye box is decent. It's not something that you would be amazed about, but it's not bad. It's far from anything that could be criticized. And it has a fast focus like all modern scopes. So you're able to set your diopter compensation that the reticle is super clear. Okay, so I think we came to the point where I can go through the sweet and sour. What you get in the box, okay, you get the sunshade, cleaning cloth, operation manual, and 30 years warranty card. You also get these bikini covers, which are really not that good, so I would suggest you get other covers. So let's go to the sweet and sour, to the summary at the end, where I share my opinion. What I think is really positive about these scopes, I really like the brown color, this sand color, and the combination with black, it's really, really nice. And honestly speaking, there is a lot of people who prefer this non-refined, bulky design over the industry average, where all of the scopes are almost the same and really refined and so on. Some people will prefer this IOR take on this matter. Myself also, I like them because they're different. So the price, I think it's really good. I think that the mechanical properties are really good. So the tracking and the turrets and the durability, robustness, I think it's really good. Especially looking at the 1,800 euro scope, because honestly speaking, when you're looking at compact, similar scopes like this from German manufacturers, we are talking about 3,000 euros plus. So at least 1,000 euros or more higher price. I also like the magnification range. 2-16, it's perfect. 42 millimeter lens, it's good enough. Maybe 2-16 by 50 would be even better for some people. IOR should consider this, but they have 4-28 by 50, which is also quite similar. I also like the warranty, 30 years, even though their service is not the fastest in the world, but they will repair anything. And I think that this is a really compact, really short scope, and not only by its name, it really is compact. Okay, what are the dislikes? 35 millimeter central tube. I know that IOR is producing scopes in 35 millimeter tubes since ever, but I do think that 34 millimeter tube would be a better option, or 36, because there will be even more mounts for it. The field of view. I remember 10 years ago, there were scopes from IOR which had a really good field of view. Now this new series have a little bit, I would say, average values in terms of field of view. Especially apparent field of view. The image is not as big as it was years ago. The reticle design. I do think that more people would exchange the smaller dot in the center, even if it's not illuminated during the day. Even if it's less illuminated during the day. So the dot is a little bit too big, and the reticle itself is a little bit on the thick side. So new, more modern reticles would, I would say, would be a nice addition to the scopes. But to change a reticle in a scope like this is not a big thing. So I presume that IOR will do this in the future, definitely. I also think that since the scope is really small and compact, it could weight a little bit less. 1 kilogram for a scope like this is quite a lot. But again, this is a design philosophy that IOR is taking. So everything is super robust, durable, big, non-refined, and so on. So this is the reason why they're so heavy. Still, they could make them a little bit lighter. All in all, if you're looking for a compact tactical scope that is a little bit different than all the American or Japanese options on the market, this is the way to go. And you are getting a really good optics and really good mechanics. Thank you for watching. If you have any additional questions, please use the comments below or send us an email, call us by phone, or get in touch with us any other way. Thank you.